G'day folks, welcome back to the channel for episode number 15 of our Cold Trozan's Spellbreaker, where I figured out how I'm going to juggle some gear, and the basic gist of it is this: we are taking these pants, and we are going to delete them, and keep that add-on, so we can put these ones on, and put that resilient, silk swatch on, and then we are also, because this has a pile of poison and acid resist on it, we're also going to keep the item here and chuck a silk swatch on that as well. And now we have perfectly capped all of our resistances except for Aether. We are well over on Elemental, I think. Yeah, Elemental. A little bit over on Poison. And that's about it. So we do have to get some more Aether from somewhere before we come out of the other side of the portal in Ashes, because I am not going anywhere near that city with less than maxed Aether resistance. There may be Aether res from one of these. Yeah, see Overload here. We definitely could be putting more points into Overload. A couple of points per, or a couple of points of resistance per point in here. We are, however, only getting 2 points per level, and I think Star Pact is a little more important, so we will be doing that. The other thing, I had a look at the Haunt Relic. I definitely could, not interested, I definitely could craft this right now. However, so Glacier we have equipped, Corruption is here, and is basically one molten skin away. You know what? Let's just do it, and then I will show you why. Because I definitely want it anyway. So Corruption, we'll take one of those. Equilibrium, I may actually have one in the bank. Nope. Looks like Equilibrium went into the maybe into the Glacier, but that's fine because Equilibrium is freely available. Then we need Glacier, which is already equipped. Haunted Steel. This means 9 Chthonic Seals of Binding. The Vengeful Wraiths, let's go ahead and make those. Nope. So Vengeful Wraith, I think, is actually Rovers. Let's go get it. Like I said, I definitely want this relic, so I'm going to go get it anyway. Even though I'm not going to do the farming required to actually make it yet. Vengeful Wraith. Is it Wraith or Wrath? It is Wraith, okay. Let's just teleport straight back to the blacksmith instead of running to the portal. Okay, so now we have Vengeful Wraiths. That needs a ton of crystals. This and the... oops, wrong button. And the Chthonic Seals of Binding are the reasons why I don't have it already. Didn't start the episode. Actually, you know what? Let's go and get it. I will show you where to get them, and then I will just farm it myself off camera. So the easy one is here in Gates of Necropolis. This is for your Aether Crystals. If you have already done Elite Act 1, just go to Act 1, farm the Warden's Lab in Elite, it'll be fine. Otherwise you can get some from here. You can go into the mine, but again it's going to be very dangerous. There's a few on the Astrakhan Road, which I'm going to hit as well. And then if you come to, I'm pretty sure it's Astrakhan Valley. Yep, the Tomb of Korvac here is a good place to get your Seals of Binding. So I'm going to go farm that up, and I will be back in a moment. That may have been the unluckiest I've ever been farming Chthonic Seals. I ended up having to go into Darkvale Gate and clear out the entire place to get the seals I needed. I also did the Blood Grove, and I did get the Boots of Primordial Rage from a totem, and the increase in all of the resistances and armor on these boots basically mean I would feel like an idiot if I didn't wear them, so we'll chuck that in the pile. And the other one I was looking at, or the other item I got that was interesting, is these shoulders, which I am also going to wear. That +2 to Night's Chill, in addition to just more resistances is really good. I will be losing a Sky Fragment, but I will be gaining an Ice Spike instead. The Ice Spike will be better for single target. The Sky Fragment will be better for trash clear, but I don't really have a problem with trash clear anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and chuck that on. Chuck those boots on. Absolutely mangled our resistances. This will be fixed with the shoulder augment, and I probably should swap a Black Tallow out for an Aether Soul. We will see. I think I need an Aether Soul for the Haunt Relic. Speaking of which, I also need Haunted Steel, which is 4 Vengeful Wraiths, which gives us Haunted Steel, and then Wrathstones, of which I need more Aether Crystals. Okay, thought I was done, turns out I'm not. BRB. Okay, so after a couple more runs through Necropolis, I finally have the, what are they called, Aether Crystals that I need, and not to mention a surplus of Aether Shards, and we are now finally able to craft Haunt. So I'm going to take my Glacier off and combine. There we go, Haunt. Now, Aether damage, worthless. Elemental damage is nice because that is obviously split 3 ways, one of the ways being cold. So 51% split 3 ways is what, 15, 17, 18% cold damage, which is not nothing, but it's not amazing. However, +1 to all skills in Arcanist is amazing. Energy absorbed from enemy spells is also quite good to help with any energy issues you may have had. Less damage from undead is, yeah, it's nice, but it doesn't really matter. Right, now the moment of truth. Can you put rumor onto it? Because if you can indeed. Okay. Which means I am now going to go back to the Coven. And we're going to... you know what? I'm going to keep it. I was going to say we're going to unspec Shadow Strike, but we're not going to do that. We are going to keep Shadow Strike, and we're going to keep all the rest of it. Now, I found a few more toys while I was out looking at it. This is interesting because of that +2 to Star Pact. Now, Star Pact is the skill that we are using, and +2 to it would be very nice. Speaking of, I also hit level 52. So we are going to put 2 points in there, but if we were to put this on, we would get... What do we get? 2 points? Yeah, 2% skill cooldown. So we would get another 2% skill cooldown from putting this on. However, we do have this coming up. So this one has +3 to Shadow Dance, which is just chance to dodge all the time, more or less. That is going to be this node here. +3 to it should give us, I think, up to 15% chance to avoid melee and projectile attacks, and the additional defensive ability is really nice. So we may... I think we're going to end up using this one, which will give us more chaos, and we will lose Aether resistance, which we are already low on. However, I did also find these gloves. Now this is going to give me, I straight up, I am using these gloves, okay? So I'm just going to put those on right now. Ignore the Prismatic Shield proc, because the physical resistance is the only one on there that I don't want to have procced, or to have maxed out before that procs, okay? So, Unholy Inscription is what we need on our gloves, and we have tons of those. Where are they? That one. Unholy Inscription will give us more vitality and more bleeding. We are 33 over for Chaos, and we are at the cap for Aether. So this Black Tallow is going to be removed, and I'm going to replace it with... hang on. I already made another Aether Soul. There it is. Okay, and then we can finally get on with playing the game. A lot of surviving on hardcore is just messing with your gear until you can cap your resistances, and then you move on. Alright, so we're a little bit over cap on Aether, which is nice. We're a little bit over cap on Chaos, which is nice. All our top row is capped, a little bit over on all of them. Poison is closer than I would like, but still fine. So bleeding is the only one I'm particularly worried about. and we will be gaining some bleeding from this when we put it on. We will be losing piercing, and that will actually uncap our piercing, and we will be losing Aether in exchange for Chaos, so this amulet has got to be replaced as well with for something with Aether resistance, but that is a little ways away before I have to worry about that. The other thing is this chest and these pants both require 557 physique, and I was very, very close. However, in the process of replacing various pieces of gear, I did replace gear that gave me the physique to get me close. I'm now nowhere near close, and I think by the time I can put these on, I'm not going to want to. However, I'm going to hang on to them for now. Let's see if I can actually do what I wanted to do. Do I need this? I think I don't need this, but I do want to hang on to the Aether Soul, because Aether Souls are actually ridiculously expensive in terms of crystals, and I've been destroying them a lot recently. Right, let's go ahead and actually do some gaming. Let's go ahead and sell that pile of those. We'll keep 20 of these, and you can have the rest. Okay. So now that we are, what, 10, 15 minutes in, let's go and do some actual main quest. Again, the only thing I'm worried about is my bleeding resistances, and that won't last long forever, or won't last forever. Right, so I was sent, blah blah blah, yes, 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 absolutely we have a deal. Okay, so this is a potion to reset our devotion points. Obviously we are not going to use that. Haunt now. I believe Haunt spreads, does it? Am I wrong? I could just be completely wrong there. One thing I will say though, having all those procs go off is fun to watch. Let's go ahead and get the star on the map for the missing witches. And one thing I am really looking forward to with Igor's medal is that pneumatic burst will just stay active for 2 minutes every time I push it, and also we get the extra cold damage, we get the bigger heal as well. So all really good stuff. Now I'm not particularly interested in doing the Grove on this character. I am interested to see how much of this stuff I can kill with procs just by pushing Haunt though. So we are going to be skipping the Grove. I don't see any need to go near it. Proc's probably not enough to kill most of this stuff. Although having said that, we are killing something. Before we go up, I need to go and kill... Is it Laria in the first house? Just down here anyway. We have reached Hated with Beasts, which I'm not worried about. The only one I actually care about is Nemesis. I moved all my buttons around again, so now I've got to get used to new buttons. You can definitely see the rumor proc going off on huge crowds, which is definitely what I wanted. Alright, Genexia is done. You know what? Let's just kill this. Got all these points spent in Trozan's Sky Shard. And I'm not... I mean, I am using it, but most of the damage is coming from Haunt and Gear procs. Which I actually don't mind. Alright, we got us another purple. Rune Plates of Ignifar. Really nice armor on these. Good resistances as well. Probably not going to use them. Those green plants have another Ice Spike proc on them, plus also plus 2 additional points to Night's Chill. So that would in fact cap Night's Chill, and I would get 1 skill point back. I'm probably not going to use them though, just because the purging ones there have so much in the way of resistances. Rune Plates of Ignifar is Chaos Res City and a huge pile of armor. We do have a decent amount of fire damage increase just because of the elemental stuff we have. So here's our cold, 1078 fire, actually a lot lower than I expected. So we could use these. No, we can't. No, we definitely can't use those. I can't even use these. What am I looking at? Never mind. Just forget I said all of that stuff. Because, yeah, we can't use that stuff. You can have that. There we go, you're dead. Okay, there is level 53, so this time we're putting points in Star Pact. We're going to get that maxed out as soon as we can. And what are we up to now? Plus 3, I think, to Arcanist. So 1 from Haunt, 1 from our belt, 1 from our amulet. We could get another 1 from our helmet as well if we went and did a bunch of crafting. Which honestly I might do in between episodes. We'll see what happens though. It is... When I picked up the recipe for it, I remember I said, wow, that's a really good helmet, and it's a really expensive helmet, and nothing has changed. It is definitely a very expensive helmet. So we will see. We will see. In the meantime, however, let's push on to the next rift. Go ahead and throw him some Haunt. And we're effectively just heading north at this point. Killing off hordes of things now. This, once you start getting a few gear procs and a few pieces of gear with plus to skills on it, Arcanist really, really picks up. It's actually a little bit silly. I know I've said this before, but the amount of damage you can do as an Arcanist is just nuts. The hard part is staying alive, usually. When I was farming for the Aether Crystals, what I was doing is I wasn't even killing things. I was just running into groups, and then Night's Chill would shred all their resistances. I had Rumor actually on Shadow Strike still, so I would Shadow Strike one of them. It would spread Rumor through the whole pack of them. The Night's Chill would hit everything near me, which shred their resistances, and also every single one of them that it ticked on would then start triggering procs all over my gear as well. This build is crazy. I'm surprised more people don't play it, to be honest. It may have something to do with the sets. All the sets at level 100 definitely seem like they're better for a druid. So we shall see if that's perhaps why not many people play Spellbreaker. I know there is a melee Spellbreaker set, so I may end up swapping this to melee at the end, but the plan is Trozan Sky Shard Spellbreaker, even at level 100. And we'll just have to see how well that works. And this is me getting annoyed by having all my stuff on that one button again, or that one tab.
That skill's not ready.
Okay. Here is our waypoint. And I'm going to cut the episode here, so thank you all very much for watching. Apologies again for all the chatting about gear, but I do feel that it is important to the build and to help sort of explain why I'm doing things instead of just showing up and being like, hey guys, I just changed all my gear, this is what it is now, let's go. I do think it's important to explain why. So thank you all very much for watching, I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.